Today, I'm gonna turn a floorboard into a wooden katana. Then, I'm gonna put it to the test against a bunch of different objects. Now, you might be wondering, why? Why would I do this? And my answer to that question is, because I wanted to. That's my only reason. Let's get building. The first thing I did was draw a rough outline of the katana onto the floorboard. Then I got out a very old jigsaw that was literally my great-grandfather's and began cutting it out. Now, for some reason, while I was doing this, the jigsaw kept on sounding like it was about to die. I'm not sure why, though. I really can't put my finger on it. Kids, no good. But luckily, it never did die, and I was able to finish cutting out the sword. Alright, so I finished cutting out the sword. Here it is. And it was already starting to feel like an actual katana. But it wasn't even close to being done yet, so the next thing I did was work on making the katana actually sharp by making a bevel. Now, making this bevel took me a lot longer than I expected, probably because the floorboard I was making it out of is oak, which is one of the hardest wood types, but I just kept on reminding myself how freaking awesome this sword was going to be once it was done, and that gave me the motivation I needed. The blade is getting sharp. This is gonna be able to cut, I think. Can't know for sure, but like... Ow! God! Now I know for sure. Ow! Once I had finally finished the bevel, I rounded out the handle of the sword, which also took way too long. And then I got out another floorboard because now it was time to make the Suba, which is just a fancy word for a handguard. I drew an outline of the Suba, realized it was in the wrong spot, and had to redraw it. Drilled a hole in the middle of it so that I could slide it onto the handle of the sword later. And may or may not have almost started a fire multiple times in the process, but we don't need to talk about that. Made the outline that I drew darker because it was bugging me that I could barely see it. Cut off the failed outline from before because that was also bugging me. And then cut the floorboard in half vertically so that the Suba wouldn't be so thick. I kept on using bigger and bigger saws for this to try and make myself feel more manly. It didn't work. Then I finally actually cut it out from the floorboard. And can we just take a moment to appreciate these amazing camera angles? Like, wow. Good job, me. Absolutely stunning. Anyways, after that, I filed down the hole that I drilled earlier until it was big enough for the handle of the sword to slide into it, which was very tedious. Just get in there, come on. Wait, it's sliding. Oh my god, it's on. Finally. Holy frick. That took for freaking ever. I gave the Suba a good sanding, and then I very badly glued it onto the handle. Then, because the Suba still wasn't a tight fit on the handle, because I failed to make the handle the same width all the way down, I filled in all the gaps with this super strong wood filler that I made out of wood glue and wood chips. Once it had dried, I sanded off all the excess wood filler on it that I didn't want, and then sanded down the bevel a bit more because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be as sharp as possible. Then all I had to do was put a finish on it. So I asked my dad if he had any, and he found me this stuff. So without thinking about it too much, I began painting it on. And as I was doing that, my dad said this.
It's outdoor stuff, so it has a strong scent. You could get high off this stuff, so we had to work fast. Yeah, work fast and then get out of here.
You get high off it?
Yeah, it's heavy duty stuff. As you can smell.
What?
Yeah, you're already acting high.
But I don't think it really affected me, so it's all good.
Hello. I inhaled way too much of that stuff. I am so high right now.
Once the finisher dried, the katana was finally complete.
So freaking awesome. Oh yes. That is one hell of a sword right there. This thing took me forever, but I think it's been worth it. Look at how freaking awesome this thing looks. Soak it in. Because this took me like a month of my life.
Now it's time to put it to the test. So I got a bunch of different objects, and I'm gonna start off with the softest ones and work my way up to the hardest ones.
Alright, so we're gonna start off with a banana. Let's see if it can cut through this. Here we go. What just happened? It looks like it cut it in half.
It totally sliced.
It sliced it right in half. Okay, so it cut through the banana, no problem, super easily. So now we're gonna do a cucumber. Here we go. That's a clean cut. Okay, I'm just done with that. Okay, now I'm gonna do a potato. Gonna hit it right out of the air. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, I completely missed that. That didn't happen. Try again. Oh yeah! Look at that. That's a clean cut right out of the air. That was sick. Apple now. Okay. No. It cut it right in half. Oh, completely in half here. Look at that. I can't believe how well this thing is cutting. Yeah.
But it's not time to celebrate just yet, because I still have the 2 hardest targets left.
Okay, now let's try a watermelon. This is the big guns right here. Come on. Oh my god, I cut right through it. And the sword's not damaged at all. Look at that. No damage. Try it again. Oh my god. I totally messed up there. Oh my gosh. I feel bad for the watermelon. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna save the rest of this instead of...
You should eat that stuff right there.
Really should.
Eat that up.
Okay,
It's supper time.
No watermelon going to waste. Here. There's hair on it. What even is that hair?
It's just cow hair.
Still tastes good.
Now it's time for the final and hardest target.
The pumpkin. That is definitely the hardest one so far. We're gonna try that again.
What in the heck happened? Did it slice?
Yeah, it sliced. It actually cut quite a bit of it. Look at that. Okay, let's try this again. That cut through it so easily.
All right, so after all that, the sword is completely fine, undamaged, not a scratch, nothing. This thing held up insanely well. Like, jeez. That's
His
insane.
name is Guy. He's an average sized guy.